Hello everybody, my name is Iola and welcome to the second episode of Barbarian Invasion's Frank's campaign. Today we're just going to leave off where we last left off. We took our first settlement and at the moment we're kind of fleeing the Romans from the west there and also looking to take more, or I guess the east, sorry. And we're going to take that one settlement down south there. I'm basically trying to get my bearings where I last left off while playing this, and last time I talked to the Burgundy, but my brain convinces me that I didn't, so I have to check 5,000 different times. Anyways, I basically I used all my movement points this turn, so I just sent my spy up, because I forgot to move him, I guess, to see if he could open that settlement up for me. Anyways, that Roman general that gave me so much trouble last episode, he pursues me across the bridge. Or I guess not across, I guess pursues me over the bridge. He forces me over the bridge. There we go, Dan. Jesus Christ. Anyways, I know he's not going to pursue me through there because at that point he's going to have to attack me over a bridge. And basically he's going to have to bottleneck his troops in there. And that's just not a good strategy. A bridge is a really great defensive point. So I end up moving my guy on the bridge. So if he decides to attack me, he's going to have to attack me over the bridge. And that's just not a good idea for him. Or across the bridge, I guess, not over. Fuck. I'm getting my shit mixed up today. Jeez, I can't even talk. Anyways, at this point I start building up an army. And I plan to just kind of sweep the northern part of Europe. Hopefully get all the territory that, I guess, modern day France would have. Anyways, I end up merging a lot of these units because they're still not repaired from our last encounter with those Romans. I moved my diplomat up north because I think there's a faction up there, but there really isn't. And I'm starting to lose a bit of money due to the fact that we only have one settlement and, well, we kind of sacked the shit out of it. Though if we didn't, we would have public order issues, and I just don't want to deal with that with my first settlement right now. It's a pain in the ass. So I decided to build a kind of hall area. It'll help with more recruitment of troops and such. Anyways, we end up besieging the settlement and building siege equipment and attack it and auto-resolve it because there's like 2 units in there and, I don't want to deal with the walls and shit. Pretty easy, lose less than 100 troops, I'm pretty happy. Anyways, so I moved that general up across the bridge there and I built myself a fort. Now a fort is really helpful and you'll see me using this a lot in my other series because what a fort basically will do is it'll block, the units can't go across, they can't go over or across or around forts. They have to either attack the fort or try to find another way around. So I basically just blocked him off from that bridge there and he has to either attack the fort or just find another way around to try to harass me there. And so now I don't have to keep a huge army just waiting there for nothing. Anyways, I noticed a bit of units up north here. And I figure out, oh yeah, there's a settlement I forgot to take up there. Maybe I should try. Like I said, there's no faction up there, so I send my diplomat back down south. And I send my spy down south towards Rome. And I realize that, there's a few Romans coming up from the south there, going up north. And this is very odd because like I said last episode, the Roman Empire in this game isn't as strong. They're actually extremely weak, especially the Western Roman Empire. So I'm finding it really hard to believe why there is so many of them. And I come to the conclusion, maybe because we're playing on hard difficulty, the AI is kind of cheating. It's kind of pulling out a lot of troops. But, like I said, who cares? For now, I think I could still wipe them out. But we're starting to recover from our horde, and, well, we gotta start recruiting our own units, and it's gonna get a bit tougher after we take our third settlement here. Because we're basically not gonna be a horde faction anymore. We're gonna be a legitimate empire. Anyway, so I just build up an army there, try to get some mercs, get a balanced army going. And I'm going to go up north and sweep that settlement and then come down south to maybe defend or start attacking the Romans there. So I noticed the Western Roman Empire, they're starting to head towards Spain there, like southern Spain. And that means one of two things. Either there's a faction called the Roman Rebels, the Western Roman Rebels in particular, and they basically spring up when the Western Roman Empire has stable issues. That they do. They are a very unstable empire, and their cities just have so many problems. So what I'm thinking is that rebels have appeared, and they're basically occupying some of Spain there. So they're either sending troops down to reinforce Spain, or better yet, the Berbers, a separate faction down in Africa, they've come up north and attacked Spain, and basically they're fighting with full stack armies, and they're just going to weaken each other. So when I finally get down to Spain, it's going to be easy pickings. I'm hoping anyways. This is my hope. So there's nothing there across the bridge. Like I said, I'm going up north. Build a watchtower, see if anybody's coming. Now the only problem with the settlement up north, well, there's a few problems. I know because this is a pre-recording, or I guess not pre, but an after recording of what happened. But yeah, I'll explain it in a minute. But right now I'm just focused on building another army with a separate general. I hope for him to maybe sweep the south and defend against the stacks of Romans that are starting to come across into France, or I guess modern day France. Like I said, like that's ridiculous right there. But yeah, anyways, what I was talking about was the problem with that northern settlement. I'll get to one of the problems now, is that the Celts up north, they love being really biased against the AI. So, or not the AI, the AI is really biased against the player. So they like to go down south and attack that settlement in particular. I don't know why. They'll avoid all of Britannia, but they'll head and attack me because they're just see you next Tuesdays, they're big old cunts. So eventually when I get into Britannia, I'm gonna have to shut their shit down. But beforehand, I gotta take the settlement first. I haven't even done that yet. Anyways, I build a watchtower and see the settlement there, and I notice another Roman army up north. And this is the one that I've kind of seen peak a bit. Peak in the northern parts of modern day France there, I guess. I guess I'll just call it Gaul for now. But yeah, I'm hoping what I'll do is next turn I'll siege that settlement, and then that army will attack me. So I'll basically get them to forcefully draw out. And if I'm able to kill all of them, then I get the settlement without actually besieging the settlement, without even going into the settlement and taking it like that. Because I noticed that settlement's a little bit more stacked than usual, and auto-resolving is just going to lose so many troops. So I'd probably have to opt for just manually getting in there. And with stone walls, it's just so hard. Anyways, I end up getting a little worried here, because there's a bit of a Roman army with some of those cohorts there. So I send my general there, and I build another fort, so he's not able to easily access me. And I replace my general unit with a spear-like unit, and have him wait in the fort there, as I recruit peasants and such. I move that small little army down south, defend that river crossing there, or whatever it's called. And yeah, that's basically all I'll say about that. But anyways, interesting. I see a Hun diplomat, so I decide to talk to him, and we get an alliance going. And that is good and bad, because I don't know if I have already explained yet, but the Huns are a horde faction. Just like how I was, but they start as a horde faction, and they are a fucking huge ass horde faction, alright? They are the biggest horde faction in the game, and I think I already explained this in my last episode, but the Huns are the biggest threat in this game. That's for damn sure. So what I'm gonna have to hope here is that they don't cause too much problems. But anyways, moving on to the battlefield. Alrighty, where was I? Oh yes, okay. So we're on the battle map now, and my plan ended up succeeding here. They end up falling for my little trap there, and I forced a draw out on them. It's perfect. So my plan is here. I know reinforcements are coming, so I'm going to deal with the main units here first, and I should be able to clean them up pretty easily. Now, I'm a little scared for this fight, because I know if I lose it, I'm basically never going to recover again. And I'm going to have some problems with the Western Roman Empire down south, so I might as well finish these units off first. So my plan is here, I get my cavalry to flank them, and my infantry will face them and be basically a distraction for them. Now I end up again messing up quite a bit here, so I cut it there so I can actually strain up my units, because trust me, this version of Total War isn't the best. Like, I constantly misclick so much while playing this game, and it just makes me stress out so much. But as you can tell here with my cavalry, I'm going for a flank maneuver. I'm going to see if I can hit their archers and their peasants or whatever low morale units they have. And if they break, I may start a chain reaction of them just breaking and routing and such. And that would just be perfect. So I notice they're falling right for my trap. They're going for my infantry here. So I go and face them and get my archers to cue in some pot shots there. Besides that, my Pilas are doing pretty good. Or are they Pilas in this game? I don't know. Anyway, surprisingly, the peasant unit and the archers sort of break off from the infantry. I thought they would stick close to their ass like puppies. I also noticed that the spearmen are going for my cavalry, and I have a few other misclicks here, so I finally get my shit sorted and have a plan working. I got my cavalry going for those weak morale units, and I have my infantry going for their infantry, and I know mine is superior in number, so I'm going to be able to break them just as easily. Anyways, I noticed that little just chain unit there of mercenaries, so it's pretty easy for me just to clean it up at that point. I get them down relatively easy. I go for the next unit and try to maybe strike them from behind. At that point, I notice the generals up in the middle there. My infantry are going for them and my cavalry units. And I start what I want. I get a chain reaction of them just routing and breaking. And at this point, it's just clean up. The reinforcement units aren't even in the battlefield yet. Perfect, so I have so much time to set up. And I killed their general. I don't know, but doesn't that general kind of look like the one that was giving me so much trouble in the first episode? And if that's so, I'm so glad I was able to kill that motherfucker. He had kind of the same amount of units too. He had like some mercenaries and some Thrace mercenaries and shit. I don't know. Anyways, I find this really weird, but they send their archers up like really far from their infantry, so they don't even have a chance to back up. I run my cavalry, my mercenary cav through them, and I know they have super weak morale, so I'm able to win that fight relatively easily. Send my infantry up front to meet their infantry and get my cav units kind of flanking there, seeing if I get a pick off some of those low morale units, get them set up properly, some of their cohorts, get my archers to pick them off, send my general unit there to see if he could flank, maybe, you know, help out some of the help break some of those units there. Anyways, more misclicks happen, so I cut, and basically they're sending up their cavalry now by the looks of it. So I send up my reserve 3 to deal with that, and hopefully that cavalry unit doesn't break, because I'm gonna need every troop. Anyways, so I noticed that, I think that's, yeah, just a random archer unit there, trying to maybe flank or whatever. I don't know what they're trying to do, but so I simply just go after them. Move my general up and boost their morale a bit. I don't want my generals too far away from my army, because if that's the case, they'll just break. At that point, I'm just going into a bit of a grind session, pausing every second, checking every second, because I know, like, those 2 spear units there, they broke instantly because they're facing against cohorts, I guess, and those are really strong units, like I said before. And so, yeah. Anyways, so I get 3 cavalry units on that 1 cavalry unit pretty easily, and I notice the general's up in the middle there, and I'm like, oh shit, the general's there. So after I'm done with that cavalry unit that basically just broke, I'm gonna send them to deal with the general, and that archer unit that's just there, it's easy pickings for my general. So because I have 2 generals, I have to explain it like that. Anyways, yeah, my first general is going after their general, and my second general is going after the archers there, and I'm just having a huge main conflict with those cohorts. And like I said, I don't even know their name. I think they're called cohorts. Anyways, I chased down some round units, just finishing a bit of numbers off, and I realized if I crash in the back there, it's all over. They're going to break, and I'm basically going to win this fight. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And at that point, I'm just going to have to slaughter them and easily take the settlement. At that point, they even break before my horses get there, or my cavalry get there. I'm just waiting for that one last hit on that general unit. And just chewing them out. It's basically just me slaughtering them at that point. Some of them rally, but it's no hope. They have no hope of winning this. Boom, right in the back there. Surrounding the general. The general has no chance of escape. And I just cut him down just as easily. And I cut back to the campaign map. I choose to exterminate the population because, well, public order and shit, right? And I notice a huge kick in the balls that this game delivers. This settlement has the plague, or has a plague, or a disease, or a fucking whatever it's called. It has basically the fucking coronavirus in this shit. And I'm not even joking about that. Well, I am really, but yeah, fuck. I didn't think this settlement would have so much squalor to the point where it was infected with some sort of disease. So basically, 3 of my generals are infected. That's more than half of my generals are infected with like this plague, and that's horrible. That's horrible. So this game just basically kicked me right in the nuts there. Anyways, I sent my diplomat to the Western Romans and try to get a ceasefire going, and they obviously don't agree. They're like, "Oh, what are you, pussy?" So I'm just building up units there, getting ready for their attack. They can't get across the bridge because there's a fort there, but they seem like they're just gonna maybe push through pretty easily. Anyways, guys, we made quite the progress in this episode. 2 settlements, not bad. And just a little bit of a talk here before I go. This video was a pain in the ass to edit, just due to the fact that it was an hour long, and just, I don't know, me cutting and me pausing, just how I was playing was pretty stupid. So I wasn't too happy about that. But anyways, we were able to survive, we were able to take settlements, and we're in a pretty good position as it is. So anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you like, subscribe, do all that shit YouTubers tell you to do, and I'll catch you all later.